Hello everyone and welcome to Alternet Factory, the place where we learn how to build mocks using only pieces from Hero Factory sets. In this episode we'll only use parts from two sets released both in 2012. It's going to be first Bulk, set number 6223, and then Core Hunter, set number 6222. So let's begin first with the body frame, which is a little complicated. So we're going first to use this body frame. As you can see, it's a white one. So we're going to use the ball joints for different things. First, these two ball joints will be used to link this part, which will be used as a skirt for our model. Then you will have these two ball joints, which will be used to link these two little bones parts, so with one connector and one ball joint. And these two ball joints will be linked to to link these two silver parts here and there. Excuse me, guys, there is some noise outside. I'm going to close the window. Also notice, really important, is the blue part which is linked on this pinhole, right there, as you can see. So now that this part is done, we're going to finish making the body. And first we're going to use this bone with this armor, which is an armor of 5, right there. And then this armor extension, which will be linked here. Going to use this connector in this ball joint, like that. Then we're going to use this part, another little bone, and another small piece of armor. It will be linked on this two pinhole here and there, like that. Going to put this thing here and turn this armor down, and then we're going to link these two parts like that. Here we go. So this part is done. Now we're going to link the part behind the body, because you can see we have no ball joints free to link the legs. And so that's why I'm going to create this big thing. So it's quite complicated, but as you can see, we're going to use the second body frame, so you can see the shape right there. So on this ball joint, we're going to link a little bone once again, then a connector, and finally this shield part right there. It's a little black and dark, so you can't really see that well, but I think you will understand how that works. Then we're going to use 3 ball joints to link 3 feet. So first this one right there, and then there's 2 ones on the side. It looks like that if you look on the back of the model. And then also notice that we're going to use this ball joint to link this part, which will help cover the back of the mock. Also notice finally that we're going to use a L-shaped technique beam, so this one. Notice the pin which is put right there, and another pin right here, which goes all the way in the body frame. So we're going to use this part to link it to the back. So we're going to use this pin in this pinhole right here. Right there, excuse me. Like that, and we just push this part. Then we move the armor like that to end the shape of our skirt, like that. So now it's time to build the legs. So the legs looks like that. Going to use this type of bone with 1 pinhole, and then this one with 2 pinholes. Going to link this dark metal piece of armor right there, and then a little more complicated. So yes, also important to notice the fact that the foot is going to be put backwards. It's important to make the model stand correctly. So yes, first then we're going to use these 2 parts together, so an axle of 2 plus this little system parts. We're then going to link this axle in this axle all right here, like that. And finally we're going to use this piece of armor and link it this way, like that, in these 2 holes. Then we're going to link this part in this hole right here. You just push and it works, as you can see. And our leg is finished, so you have to do this thing a second time, because the 2 legs are symmetrical. Here we go, it looks like that. And this part is done. Now for the arms. So they're a little different. So let's begin first with the left arm. So you can see these are the bonds used. So a simple one and then another one with 2 pinholes. As you can see at the end, we're going to use a hand right there with some handcuffs. And then these 2 pieces of armor will be used. So first this body armor with, as you can see, a system part but in the upper hole of the armor. And finally an armor of 3, if I'm correct, with this spike but on the side. So that's for the left arm. So you will have to force your way because there is only a ton of armor, so it might block quite easily. Like that. Now let's talk about the second arm, so the white one. It's the same as you can see in terms of bonds and armor, except this time we're going to use the bulk body armor, so this means it will be different in colors, yes, in comparison to the black one used previously. And then we're going to link the weapon, which is quite different. So yes, we're going to use the connector first, link these 2 parts on both the axle holes. Then we're going to use this axle of 2, this T-shaped part, another ball joint right there. Finally, a little piece of armor of 3 in orange, linked on the ball joint, and this little laser right there. So it looks like that, or like that if you look on this side. Notice also the ammunition right there. So once again, you have to find your way in all this armor. So yes, it will be quite bad in terms of articulation, but we'll see that later on. I think yes, I'm done with this. And finally, we're going to use this part, we're going to link it on the axle hole of this foot, right here. And then the head, which is quite simple, a little piece of bone, then an armor of 5 in orange, and then this piece of armor. It will be linked on this ball joint, like that. And we have our drone finished. Kind of like an enforcer drone. Right here, I think is correct. Yes. So let's do first a little turn around of our model. And then we talk about the articulations, which are quite poor because, as you can see, it's really full of armor, so you can't really move the parts the way you want. So first, let's begin with the arms, and first the shoulders. So you can see, you can try to move this thing, but the armor might fall off. So yeah, not that good. As you can see, you can move this thing up. You can also try to move it upwards like that. But most of the time, like I said, the armor might fall off because it will touch other piece of armor. So yes, you can't really do that tons of pose. At least for the shoulders. Quite hard to move this thing. But that's happened when you try to focus everything on the design and not really on the articulations. Then you have the elbows, which can turn, as if I correct, a little more than 90 degrees right there. This part with the hands obviously is quite blocked if you move it on the front armor right there. The second arm is, I think, the same for the shoulders. The elbows are also quite well articulated. Well, the elbow, not the elbows, but yes, the elbow. The hand also, the hand, is free of movement. Then you have the head, which can move on the sides and up and down without any big problem. So it's really, in my opinion, good, I think. It's okay. Then you have the legs, which can be moved up and all the way right here. But obviously, because of this type of foot, you can't really do that tons of pose. And I think that's all for that articulation. So now that we are done, you might ask if you could improve this model using other Hero Factory parts from other sets. Well, you can. I think the major modification that this model needs is obviously you're going to have to add some smaller bones right there to make some shoulder which can only move. Because you can see in this state, in terms of articulation, it's not really that good. So yeah, you really have to add some more bones, I think, some more bones part on the arms. Also, if you want, you can try to add some more armors right there to cover these little holes. And I think maybe you can try to make some more original head. And also, well, there is some parts where that really I think needs some improvement. Maybe also the weapon, which is quite okay like that. But seriously, I think you can do better than this. So yeah, really there is a way for improvement. But I think that this mech is alright. As I remind you, it was only made using, well, it was made using only parts from 2 Hero Factory sets. So it's not that easy to make something that works both in terms of design and in terms of articulation when you have a limited amount of parts. And I think that's the case for this guy, which is mostly a big guy in a giant armor and nothing really else. So yeah, I'm going to try to do a little pose, which might not really look that good. Like I said earlier. And yeah, I think that's all for this model, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to ask them. Also, if you want to make your own combat model using this 2 set, well, feel free to do it and then post a little video that I will happily watch and comment if you want. And that said, well, hope you enjoyed and see you later for another Altered Factory episode. Bye bye!